Okay, so today we're going to talk about rotations. And the definition for rotations is simply a turn or spin. All right, stays the same shape. And it stays the same size. So let's demonstrate this. Let's say I have a heart in the first quadrant here, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. 90 degrees, because of the way the coordinates are set up, would put it down fully in this quadrant. I always have to rotate my paper. We're going to go clockwise and draw my heart that way. That's the only way I can really do this. So that is a 90-degree rotation. Okay, after 90, another one would be here, which would be a 180. So I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Now turn my paper completely 180 and draw my heart there. So that one was 180 degrees. Okay, then the last one, if I take 180 plus another 90 to get it here, is 270. So I'm going to turn it this way, turn it all the way upside down, and then turn it this way and draw my heart. And that one is at 270 degrees. Now, all of these I went clockwise. That's all that we'll do today to make it a little bit easier on us. Now, the next one would be 360, which would get me right back to that. So we're not going to do that one. Okay, some of you have really good spatial skills, and you can do this pretty easily without even having to turn your paper. I'm not one of those people. So these rules are super, super helpful for me whenever it comes to rotating. So the first one is 90 degrees. Okay, let's say I had an X and a Y and I rotated it 90 degrees. What's going to happen is they're going to flip-flop spots. Y is now going to become first, and your X changes. So let's practice that. Let's say we had 4, 2. Y would be first, so 2 would be first, and my X changes. So that would now be a -4. So you flip-flop spaces, and then the X changes. Okay, do this one on your own. -3, -1. Really, pause this. Try this on your own. You should get -1 because you flip-flop, and then a +3 because the X changes. So those are your rules for 90. 180 degrees, I think, is the easiest one. They don't flip-flop. They both just change signs. So -2, 1. They stay in the same spot, just instead of a -2, it would be a +2, -1. Okay, do this one on your own. -4, +3. Stay in the same spot, flip-flop signs. All right, last one is 270 degrees. They are going to flip-flop again, but this time your Y is the one that changes and your X stays the same. So if I have -4, 5, I'm going to flip-flop, but I have to change my 5. So it's no longer a +5. It'd be a -5 first, and then this one stays the same. So you try this one, 3, 4. Okay, so flip-flop, but I have to change my Y, so it would be -4, and then that would be a still +3. All right, so that is the rules for rotating. Now we are going to do one graphing. So go ahead and pause this and write all that loveliness down. Okay. So you're going to graph those 4 points. So that'd be A, B, C, D. This is why you don't do math in pen. Okay, so there's my A, B, C, D. I think the easiest way to do this is to write your new points off to the side. So I know A prime, and if I'm going 90 degrees clockwise, my rule is flip-flop and change my X. So if I flip-flop these, first would be -4, and then I have to change that one to a positive. Flip-flop these, so -1, and then that one changes to a positive. Flip-flop these, so first would be -2, and then that one is already positive, so that means it changes to a negative. Flip-flop these, so -4. Same thing here, it's already a positive, so it would have to change to a negative. So those are my new points, and I need to graph them as well. So -4, 3, A prime. And it does get a little messy, just with all of the letters and all of your labeling. Okay, so if I rotated this 90 degrees, it would look like that. Okay, so on your homework, what you're going to do on the first page here is you are going to do the rotation that it tells you to do. If you can do it without writing points down, that's fine. I would have to write my points down for P, K, N, and F, and then I'd have to transform them to the P prime, K prime, N prime, and F prime, get my new points, and then these would be the ones that you would graph on your paper. Okay, like I said, if you can freehand it, great, but I'm going to be checking them. You've got to be exactly right. So I would probably get your points down. The one that I want to talk about here is this one, rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. We don't know what counterclockwise is. So we're going to change that. Instead of going 90 degrees counterclockwise, we go this direction. That's the same thing as going 270 degrees clockwise. So change that one to 270 degrees clockwise. Okay, on the back, the bell's getting ready to ring. On the back, you're just telling me what it was rotated. So is it rotated 90 degrees, 270, 180? That's all you're doing on the back side. All right.